so strong enough.
Good morning, everyone. So today I am going to start working on a Northwoods garland for my tree. This year I spent a lot of time walking on the beach, and I picked up and collected many little pieces of Lake Superior driftwood. Very pretty stuff. And I'm going to string them along. I got a lot to do. There's a lot going on this table, so I'm just going to try and explain to you what everything is and what it's going to be used for. So obviously my pieces of wood here, these ones are a little bit bigger than these ones. And then this fall, Cooper and I, my big old puppy dog, we went out and we collected pine cones that weren't quite opened. I didn't want them I didn't want them opened because they're harder to drill that way and then they fall apart. And then over here I have just a collage of stuff that I found at thrift stores throughout the year. Like this stuff, especially this time of year, they're bringing out those bags from like the 1980s. They're bringing out those bags of what do you call it? Incense stuff, that was like these things, they smell, but I don't know, they're supposed to smell like cinnamon or whatever. Most of them have already lost their smell, but anyway, I'm going to use these as separators between wood, and I'm gonna use floral wire because I don't want too thick of a wire, because with garland you need to be able to bend it and put it the way that you want it. And then I'm going to use some wood stain, polyacrylic, which is just basically clear, just in case I want to, make these look a little bit different, and ones that have a little bit of color to them. And then I may want to paint some of them, but not fully paint. I don't want them fully painted, because if I'm going to do that, then I might as well just go ahead and buy ornaments that are fully painted. So, but I'm going to be using red, green, white, and the black is because I think maybe this green is a little too bright, and this red might be a little bit too bright. So, because I'm looking more of like a rust color for my tree, more natural looking color. And some of these bells I've already painted. This is not rust. I had tried the rust color, and it doesn't work very well. What works really well to give you that rust look is, it's called Barn Red. It's a spray paint from Rust-Oleum, I believe. It's Barn Red. But the black is if you mix a little bit of black with the green, then you're going to get a darker green. If you mix a little bit of black with the red, then you're going to get a darker red. And then obviously the white is just white. But I haven't quite decided on whether I want to paint these ones yet. I'm not quite there yet. But when I get to that point, then I'll let you know what I've done. And then I also collected acorns this year. Now, a lot of times acorns will lose their tops. So what I'm going through, what I'm going through and doing today is I'm going to be gluing their tops back on them, because I think they're much cuter with their tops on. I think I'm going to call that good. I got my acorns, and this is what I'm left with. I'm left with 4 little tops that doesn't fit on anything. 4 little tops and 1 broken acorn. I think, yep, that was it. So this turned out very well. I'm just going to spread them out here so that they don't end up glued together, in case there's any stray glue running around. I'll kind of keep rolling them around periodically so that they don't stick to the cardboard. I don't want that either. Alright, here we go. I'll be back in a little while, and then we're going to start working on something else. Okay, so acorns are dry. And we're just going to set those aside, because the next thing that I need to do is start drilling my pine cones that I went out and I found. And I'm just going to go center it the best that I can. And I'm using quite a small drill bit because floral wire is very thin. And I'm just going to go through it. There's a little hole in there, and I'm gonna do this whole thing, and we'll see where we're at when we get these done. So this is gonna take me a little bit, so I'll shut the camera off and be back when I'm done with these. And trying to be careful not to drill my fingers, and then we'll move on from there. So I'm finishing up the last of these little green jobbies. I don't know what they are. They came in that potpourri bag, and so I don't think that I'm going to use my green paint because I don't need to, because I kind of like these the way they are. And get through this last one here. All right, and so I'm going to leave these the way they are, and I'm going to leave these the way that they are because I kind of like them like that. And I've already painted my beads. I'm sorry if I said barn red before. It's not. It's called flat red by Rust-Oleum, not barn red. And then I have these, which I'm going to take and I'm going to spray paint them. I don't know if I'm going to do the flat red or maybe a combination, or maybe an off-white would even be nice. I mean, just to break things up a little bit. So that's where I'm at now. And I found these deer in my ornament box, which I forgot that I had them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put those on my garland also. So I'm going to go paint these and I will be back. So I've decided that these little wooden beads here I'm going to stain and not paint them. And I'm going to be using a stain that's called Golden Pecan, or Golden Pecan, depending on where you're from, how you say it. So they don't have to be perfect. I'm just going to do a very light coat on them. You hardly see it. Just a little bit of a golden color. Yeah, I think I am going to keep them this color because I do have other darker colors that are going to be around it. Moving along here, I like the way these turned out. They're not too dark, they're not too light, they're kind of a golden brown, golden color. Now I'm going to move on to drilling holes in my driftwood so that I can assemble them into my garland. And it's just going to go just like this, one after the other. I measured the circumference of my tree and it was 33 inches at the smallest point, which is at the top. And what I decided to do was I don't want it to be tight around the top. So I'm going to cut my floral wire to about, I don't know, maybe 50 inches instead of 33 because it's going to drape onto the tree and not just, you know, be around it. It's going to drape on the branches so that it looks like garland. All right. And I like the way these turned out. These turned out very nice with just a hint of their color, their gold, the red, the green. Just a hint of their color is still left on them. And I really, really like the way that looks. So I'm going to start my garland. Just want to make sure that this is the right one that I have. It isn't the wrong one. Yep, it's about 50 inches. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start assembling my garland for the top of my tree. And I will continue to go down the tree with the garland, but I just got to decide what I want to start with first. So I think I'm going to start with maybe a green one here. I'm just going to poke that through the hole that I drilled earlier. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make kind of a knot in it because I don't want it to come back out. So I'm just going to fold that over a couple of times, so just so that it can't come off the, you can see it, so that it can't go through the hole. And I'm going to start at a green down there, and then I got to decide what I want to do for the next piece, which I think is going to be a piece of driftwood. And we're just going to go through there and string it on. String it on like that. I like them close together. I'm liking that close together. Maybe a little bell. A little bell. Like that. And then maybe, oh, I don't know, an acorn. Choice is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. You can make it however you want, with whatever you want. But as I do a Northwoods tree every year, it just makes sense for me to have, that was not gonna work. It just makes sense for me to have a Northwood garland. Okay, acorns are going to be a little more challenging. That's okay though. I've got patience for it. Here we go. And then we're going to go ahead and do another piece of driftwood. And you get the idea. And I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. My garland is done. I topped one. And I really, really like the way this turned out. I think it turned out really nice. I'm very happy with it. I got pine cones on there, just like random little stuff. I really enjoyed doing this. Really enjoyed it. Now I'm going to take it upstairs. I'm going to put it on the tree and see how it looks up there.
It's so strong enough.